spirit of Thanksgiving, I've started to count my blessings and to compare where we are this year compared to last. Last year, we didn't know if we could have family and friends for Thanksgiving. We didn't have the safety of vaccines, and for all those things, we are grateful. And I'm even more grateful to be here again in this great church and to be with my friends who I wondered about and worried about during COVID. And it's this ability to be with each other again, to have these connections, which is so impactful and so meaningful, and what I'm going to talk about right now. If you had been at Christ Church a month ago for Bowie's installation, it was a glorious, glorious moment. The power of so many people all together praying and singing together. The sense of community was palpable, and it's the sense of community and of relationships that are so significant and that I want to call attention to. Every year, or every quarter, or just every time I turn around, Channel 13 or WQXR, the classical music station that I listen to, is having a fund drive. And recently, I listened to the words that the moderators used that listeners had described their experience with WQXR. They said that WQXR was their oasis of calm and their source of comfort and hope, or my favorite, their restoration location. And it made me think, because these adjectives, these terms, these could very easily describe church. They could be Christ Church, because what is our church but an oasis of calm, a source of comfort and hope? I found myself thinking along those lines. And it made me realize that by connecting with God and with others, we are so blessed to have this ability. Even before COVID, I had been reading articles about how people are so separate and alone today. And the scourge of loneliness has only been exacerbated by COVID, and it's at epidemic proportions. It's very bad for one's mental health to be disconnected from others. And the level of self-harm is now at astronomical levels, especially for young people. So how often do we see the cure for this isolation as being to join a group activity, or people are encouraged to join a church? How fortunate are we that we have this source of connection here right among us? And how many of us during the worst days of quarantine clung to those Zoom church services, particularly Zoom coffee hour, as a way to get to see our friends and to make sure everybody was doing okay. Now that we have vaccines and face masks, how quickly we forget. But a year ago, things were very, very different. We have been members of Christ Church for about 30 years, and my activities and associations have changed during that time. But I would have to say that the one thing I've done that has given me the most satisfaction and joy has been my work with the Interfaith Food Pantry of the Oranges, which is an organization that the Outreach Committee has been instrumental in founding and supporting. And we're not the only food pantry that the Outreach Committee is able to help with your pledge donations. I would say with the Interfaith Food Pantry of the Oranges that it has become my full-time, part-time job. And that is a great thing, because through these activities, we're able to help people around us. And by doing so, we feel so blessed ourselves. We know that we can't solve all our our clients' problems, but we can make a significant difference. It's clear to me that we need to appreciate and support the things that we love, whether it's our alma maters, WQXR, Channel 13, or Christ Church. Because if we don't, they go away, they cease to exist. I know that I will be thinking of these things, that Christ Church is my source of comfort and hope and an oasis of calm. And I will be keeping those blessings in mind as I make my stewardship pledge. How will you honor your blessings this year with yours?